Thanks. Peter Stein with the Wall Street Journal. Ms. Ho, can you say, in the review, I noted that your combined investments now in Singapore and Asia actually amount to about 74% of your assets, and you talk about the 40-30-20-10 ratio, which would suggest that you're actually more overweight in Asia and Singapore right now than your ideal. Does that mean that you would see, all things being equal, divestment away from Asia into other markets such as Latin America and the Middle East?
No. When we put the 40-30-20-10, it's a directional indication of where we would like our portfolio to be. It is not cast in stone. It's not fixed. It's like an individual that says, I would like to, invest something in, real estate, put something aside for my kids' education or whatever it is. You have a broad allocation, but because we are not a relative investor, relative in returns investor, we are not benchmarked against a fixed portfolio mix. So we have the full flexibility to shift and to move where we see the long-term trends are. Today, I would say directionally, we probably will continue to overweight more in Asia going forward. So,
beyond.
So we are not forced to sort of reduce weight in Asia just to meet some targets.
Can I also ask, the decisions to sell out of Barclays and Bank of America, you've explained the reasoning behind those decisions in the past. In the light of the market rebound since March 31st, it now seems that you could have gotten a better return had the fund chosen to hold on to those investments. Would you consider those decisions to sell out a mistake on Temasek's part, and are there any lessons that you took away from that?
We have the flexibility to hold, increase, or reduce our stakes in any investments. And we have had the flexibility of going back into investments that we have exited. And we have done that before in the past. So in terms of looking at whether we should have exited Bank of America or held on to Bank of America, or whether we should go back in and reinvest, I think these are questions that we don't address as a one-point decision, but we look at it in the context of our entire portfolio. And within the context of the entire portfolio, we are comfortable where we are at. We have participated in the rights issue of some of our portfolio companies, and those rights issues have given us good returns as well, along with investments that we have made elsewhere.
Sorry, just one last follow-up question.
Yeah.
You've given some information about the amount that you've divested from other companies, including the power companies, but you haven't given information about how much you divested from Barclays and Bank of America. I'm just wondering, is there any reason why you don't just offer up the information? At this point, it's fairly public how much, in general terms, was lost. Is there any reason not to offer more information?
As far as the power companies, those are public information, exactly what the proceeds are. We have just consolidated them for ease of reference. The other information you can gather from public sources.
Sorry, yes, gentlemen.
Chris Wright from Euromoney and Asia Money magazine. So two questions, if I may. Firstly, returning to that 40-30-20-10 split geographically, the area where you seem most underweight today compared to where you hope to be is Latin America and others. And for you to go from that 4% to the 10% target implies some quite significant investments in the region of about $10 billion. Can you outline what sort of expertise you feel you have for investment in Latin America?
I think firstly, we didn't say that we have a target of 10. We say this is directionally, and we have on many occasions nuanced it as saying that this is up to 10. So we are not in a hurry to sort of beat the 10, so to speak. we are not forced to invest. We take the view that we are owners, and therefore we have the flexibility of not investing or not putting our money to work if we think it's not the right time. Typically, in going into new markets, we like to look for partners, and we'll co-invest with partners. On other occasions, we will invest in funds so that we have a view. As far as Latin America, we have studied it for, 3.5 years ago. We looked at it for quite a while before we decided that we will open offices there. We have an office in Sao Paulo and an office in Mexico. The team there are professional people with considerable experience in those markets. They will add value to us. We can invest directly or we can invest with partners.